Hello, welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I am Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me I have some more RPG horror stories. Friday the 13th is coming up very soon, and you know what? I feel like we need to make a special video for that. Something super scary or horrifying, or maybe, I don't know, cover one of the more horrifying, the most horrifying horror stories on RPG horror stories ever. The top horrors that ever exist. That kind of thing. I don't know. I'll think of something, but I definitely want to make something spooky for sure. Anyway, let's get to the first story for today. Shadowrun Japan setting nightmare. Was playing as a human female decker in a one-shot at a convention. Party was given task to send a message to local store that refused to pay protection money. My character went to a nearby store, locked themselves in women's restroom, and full dived. During the event, got into an argument over redirecting a phone call to a disposable phone on another player to prevent police contact. Offered player out of character to pay for another, that dirt cheap anyway. Player said no. After mission was over, player exclaimed to rush back to the store I was in and bust down the women's restroom door, drag my unconscious body out, and leave me in the middle of the floor. To which I'm all, what the hell? Then the GM said, okay, you do that, and I'm all, WTF even more. I asked logical questions like, wouldn't I have woken up from the dive before this? And the GM said no. I also asked if no one would stop this large male troll from breaking down the women's restroom door, dragging around an unconscious woman. The player argued no one would mess with a large-ass troll. The GM agreed with him. Though considering the setting, this is total BS for a place that is racist to have onlookers do nothing about a meta-human acting violent against a human. Then I asked the decker question, can I get freed from the cameras in the store? The DM said the store did not have cameras that point at the restrooms. Also BS if you know anything about real camera placement. I feel a lot of this was because I was a male playing a female character at the table for all male players. Outside of being completely confused by a lot of things, I mean, I understand the whole point of like Shadowrun. There's a lot of there's a very cyberpunk kind of fare to them. Like when you dive, you basically go unconscious to like use your mind to like telepathically control technology, I think. I'm not fully sure. It's some sort of a hacking mechanism basically. But like, why is the other player dragging the other one from the women's bathroom onto the floor? Why are they getting upset over the whole disposable phone thing? Or why is the DM is like, hey, I'll just allow you just to drag a player out there from the bathroom and stuff, and nobody's gonna just be like, what the hell is this troll character doing? Oh, I am so bewildered. The story is also marked as SA, so are we supposed to like get implication that the troll like SA the female decker on the floor of the store? I don't know, just a really weird story. I guess at the end of the day, don't drag women out of the bathrooms regardless of whether you're a big troll or not, I guess. I'm lost, honestly. Let's get to the next story for today. When she's on all fours, I turn into a wolf and... Hello there. This is my first post here. A friend told me about this subreddit and that there's a few World of Darkness horror stories posted here. So I decided to change it a little bit. Perhaps a few stories I hope to post here will encourage you to play my favorite TTRPG, Vampire the Masquerade. Let's get into the story. Typically when you try to sell somebody on like the good parts of your TTRPG, you kind of want to say the good parts. If you talk about a horror story, that doesn't encourage people to want to play the horror story or play the game. Gotta be honest, a lot of the weirdest horror stories that we've had, or a lot of the really strange ones and bizarre ones, have come from Vampire the Masquerade in the World of Darkness universe. So hey, let's buckle in and get to this one. Maybe we'll get convinced to play some. It was an old Vampire the Masquerade play by post server on Discord that has no longer exist due to unrelated to the story issues. We had very few players and we had only one storyteller, GM. I believe no one on the server knew each other in real life. It was the Anarch-oriented sandbox game, but later Camarilla sect was also allowed for the players. The Anarch are kindred who rebel against the oppression of the Camarilla and want to create their own society, while the Cams are very authoritarian and conservative, where the old vamps rule over everyone else. One day we were joined by a couple who were in a real-life relationship and they wanted to play vampires who are also in a relationship with each other. That was not a novel concept. There are, quote, plant of kinder, whatever that means, who still pursue romance and more both among mortals and other kindred, and it often makes for an interesting story, so the ST approved. At first they caused no problem. The male player made Gandrel, vampire of the clan that is known to communicate and morph into animals, and the female player made a Bruja or Bruja, clan of warriors and troublemakers who are very physically capable. They spent a lot of time together being lovey-dovey, but it was not disruptive or anything. My Gandro LPC did interact with them, but I had to have 6th sense since I did not vibe with them very well, did not pursue roleplay with them unless the storyteller made us. One night during a party, organized by the other kindred in the city, they decided to go to a secluded place and started being intimate with each other. The description was very detailed and 100% 18 plus only. There were 2 problems with it, one bigger than the other. Not only vampires cannot feel carnal pleasure unless they have high humanity, the couple did not ask anyone if it was fine posting such content in the open channel, where other people were partying. It made our storyteller as well as the other players very uncomfortable and disrupted the flow of the RP that was happening at the party. So let me get this straight. The couple decided to just start ERPing with each other in like not like a separate channel, but where everybody else was. Gross. Fantastic. Let's keep going. I mean, what else to say? Don't ERP in public channels. Also, don't ERP if the games don't allow ERP and stuff, right? I get it. Like if you want to do like your own private ERP, because if you're dating somebody and you really want to send some spicy messages, DMs are available. Or hey, if you guys are close to each other, just turn towards each other and start doing the dirty. I don't know. Unless the long distance, even then you probably should keep that stuff to like, private, DM each other, DM yourself spicy stuff, keep it out of global chat. When everyone shared their objections to the ERP, they deflected that this game is for mature people who should be able to handle mature content, and it's not even that bad or edgy. The VtM does not have to be that explicit or edgy, and their PCs may not feel pleasure, but they do that as a form of bonding with each other, which was totally false since they did describe how they enjoyed their bodies being in contact. Regardless of what you do, regardless of how mature the Vampire the Masquerade themes are, if people never agreed to have ERP publicly blasted out for everybody, and nobody wants to see that sort of thing, keep it in private DMs. It's not that difficult. Whether they be posted in general chat or not, and you know what it is? They're probably just like some sort of like voyeurs or something, or they want people to read their weird ERP fetishes out. I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea. At this point, I'm just convinced every offender just has a weird fetish, and it's just them exposing the weird fetish, whether it be a unique fetish or a very niche kind of fetish. They pleaded to the storyteller, clearly wanting to roleplay mature content. This resulted in creation of a channel specifically for ERP. The channel was almost exclusively visited by the couple, who posted their smut there almost every week. Outside the ERP channel, they went from lovey-dovey to throwing sex innuendos every possible exchange they had. If my memory does not fail me, considering timestamps of the post, they spent hours sexting each other as vamps on our server. I did not read all their ERP, that would be weird, but it had to be pretty kinky, since sometimes people mention the ERP in general channel, and now, while they go, it was also weird why can't they just release their attention IRL? Never got a clue. That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the point of trying to flirt up with each other on Discord of all things? We could just turn to the other person and just go, what's the word? Macking on them? I guess that's the most censored way I can do it before YouTube claps me down, claps my ass cheeks. But I mean, smut books are created for people that like to read about this sort of stuff, and maybe they're both into reading smut rather than getting, spicy with each other. Or maybe they're getting spicy with each other and they're writing stuff at the same time. They got like a free hand or something, I guess. I don't know. The real horror started when the male player got his 3rd dot in Protean. This vampiric discipline allows a person to change their bodies into more animalistic form. 1st and 2nd dot give you some claws, fangs, eyes, and ears. 3rd dot is significant because it allows you to completely change a vampire into an animal that might have similar size and weight as said vampire. Uh-oh. I can guess what this is going. The couple decided to write another smut on a dedicated channel. This time to get more wild than ever before. It started a storm that took over the server for a while. Their PCs went to the Bruja's Haven. Or Bruja, I don't know how to pronounce it. There they went to the bathroom. There they went to the bedroom, where they initiated sex scene and were graphic, as always. That was not all. The gangrel exclaimed that he is ready for another round of closeness. He said he has a surprise for the Bruja, or Bruja, that she has to get on her knees and bent over. Once she did that, he followed with, "When she's on all fours, I turn into a wolf and..." He was illustrating how he mounted her from behind. The female player was a willing participant. They both proceeded to describe, exhaustedly, the intercourse between a male wolf and a female vampire. And when I write exhaustedly, I really mean it. I learned about it when another player pinged everyone on the server, pointing to the ERP channel. Gross. Very gross. Don't fuck animals. Regardless of if you're a vampire or not. It's bestiality, it's illegal, and first and foremost, it's gross. Keep your weird, kinky stuff to the DMs, away from other people to see. Come on, it's not that difficult. You know, somebody in the comments also said that it's always the VtM stuff, and you know what? I think you're right. For some reason, it's always the World of Darkness stuff or the Vampire the Masquerade stuff that gets really weird. The entire server was basically, what the fuck? Of the several people we had, nobody showed the support for the couple after what they did. 2 or 3 were silent, wanted to stay out of this. Storyteller, who was also admin as well as the rest of the server, were criticizing the couple and demanding explanation. People were mostly shocked and disgusted, some mocking the couple and laughing at the entire situation. The couple started to raise their defense. They claimed that they did not do anything wrong, of course. After all, that was not bestiality because the wolf was not a real wolf. Even if it's fiction, it's still equally gross, yucky, disgusting. Get out of the server. Regardless if it was real or not, it's still really fucking gross. It was a sentient person who was only transformed into one. They also brought up hardness test and finally started talking about how edgy World of Darkness is, the universe of the VtM. That gruesome murders and abuses are common along vampires. So are various kinks. That might be the case, but if other players don't want to see you fucking a wolf, they probably shouldn't have them fuck a wolf. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody agreed to that. Nobody consented to that. You didn't check ahead of time with Storyteller, the admin for the server, if that was okay to post this kind of stuff. You didn't check with anybody. You just decided, I'm gonna just unleash my fetishes. Because I want to. Because I'm the only person that matters the most here. And who cares about what everybody else thinks? Because I want to post about my smut with my significant other instead of talking about it in person or something or sending each other DMs about this stuff. Like, seriously, why does it have to be in public? Why does this sort of stuff have to be in public in the first place? It's gross. I don't care how kinky it is for you. I don't care how excited you get. I don't care. Nobody cares. Post it to each other in private. Don't post it in a public area where other people are. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody needs to see that. Honestly, Morrow is into some things that could be described as hellishly repulsive. Succubi women, sure. But does that mean I'm going to be posting succubi women anywhere I go? I do a responsible thing, like any other degenerate, and keep a hidden folder on my desktop where I have all this succubi art that I can marvel at all the beautiful succubi ladies in private, not in public, and I have to annoy people to that sort of thing. And regardless of how mature the setting is, if people didn't consent to seeing messages of somebody fucking a wolf, they didn't consent to seeing messages of somebody fucking a wolf. Nobody wants that, dude. Jesus Christ. I can't believe somebody unironically thinks that they're just perfectly fine. Why are people like that? Why are people like that? Why do they just want to force the weird fetishes on people just because? The storyteller was not sure what to do. But then someone else brought up that they have a dog. They shared pictures of the dog on the other channel and started questioning the IRL intimate life. The couple deflected that it means nothing and they did not do such thing IRL. Even if that was true, most of us did not believe that. The storyteller told them that they're not welcome here. They creep too many people out and their paraphilia is not tolerated in the game. Just before getting banned, the male player accused everyone of being bigots and furry phobic. Were they furries? Were the other players furries? Is that why they had that weird furry kink? Well, they did say they accused the other players of being furry. Oh my god, they were furries. They were furries. I'm out. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm done. I'm done for the day. I'm done for the day. You know, when Deno the Drake in his videos casually mentions things like, it's always the furries, you always just go, ha ha ha, you're right, Drake. Yeah, that's the funny. But no, he means it. It's always the furries. Why? I have furry friends that will gladly take up pitchforks and torches for people that are this much of degenerates. After that, I decided to stop playing my gangrel and play as Camarilla, Venture Workaholic, sitting in the office in my skyscraper whole night, making phone calls and checking if I'm making profit, all by myself, with no animals around. Yeah, I think I'll just kind of put everybody off. The whole server just needs a little bit of cleaning, just cleansing the entire server off of that grossness. I really hope those weirdos aren't doing actually something. Like, I hope they keep in the weird fetishes just to text and not actually doing stuff IRL. I genuinely hope, because If they are doing stuff IRL, somebody needs to call police on them and rescue the poor dog that is stuck in their basement. Because holy shit. And with that, that's gonna be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales tomorrow. Bye-bye.